What's up guys, this is Josh from KeepItTechie, and today I want to show you guys a super cool add-on for Plex called Tautulli. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is show you guys a website. It's tautulli.com, and it's tautulli.com, and I'll put the link down in the description below. But basically what this application does, it monitors your Plex server. So I'm assuming you already have a Plex server set up. Well, this is a great tool that will help you monitor, view analysis, and receive notifications about your Plex server and the status and all that stuff. So and as you can see right here, it says monitor your Plex Media Server. Down here it's a little bit more information. Tautulli is a third-party application that you can run alongside your Plex Media Server to monitor activity, track various statistics. Most importantly, these statistics include what has been watched, who's watched it, when and where they watched it, and how it was watched. The only thing missing is why they watched it. But who am I to question your 42 plays of Frozen? So all statistics are presented in a nice and clean interface with many tables and graphs, which makes it easy to brag about your server to everyone else. And here are the features. Like I said, monitoring statistics, history, graphs, cross-platform, so it works on Windows, Linux, all that good stuff. So and this is a few examples of what it looks like, and I'll bring those up. And actually, let me show you a real one. This is my server, so that I have set up, and this is basically it. So as you can see, you know, the first page is a dashboard. It basically shows you the current activity up here, and then watch statistics. It's set to 30 days, but you can obviously change that. Play duration, you can look at all that, see how long somebody played it. And this thing is regularly updated, as you can see right here. It's regularly updated. And then it also, down here at the bottom, it shows you recently added movies or videos or TV shows, whatever. And so if you click on the next tab, it shows you the movies, well, actually the library, and just kind of shows you a little bit more information, what was actually viewed, total amount of movies that's on the actual server, and just some more statistics. I don't watch it too much, but I don't watch things that much on here, but as you can see, and I'm gonna block out these IP addresses, but it actually tracks the IP address of where everyone is connecting from and what they're actually watching. Like for instance, Spartacus, Sequoia was watched by somebody. Let's see, I watched Homeland not that long ago. As you can see, that's on a Rock 64. That's the one on my server. And as you can see how many times someone plays and the total played duration. And then also we can look at the history, and also go down and show you guys the history, what IP address people were looking at it from, and all that good stuff. So and also I'm gonna block out the users because I don't want people's email addresses to get put out there as well, so you won't see that in the video once it's put up. But this will definitely show the user that you're sharing your Plex server with, as well as their IP address. So it tracks all that information. And you can break it out by movies, TV shows, music. If I had music, I know it would show there, and all. And then here we go with the graphs, and this will show you the usage based on the months. So each month of the year. I think I had to reinstall this server, that's why I don't have much data, because I reinstalled this server, and so I lost all that data. I didn't move it over from a backup, but yeah. And then sync items. This is, I really don't know what this is, but it's sync the items. I'm assuming it's stuff that's shared or uploaded to the server. I'm assuming that's what that is. But see, you can go into the settings. You can modify the settings. Like I said, it runs alongside the Plex server, and it watches certain files based on the Plex server. It knows where to look. So then also you can modify the settings. I'm not gonna go through all that, but I just wanted to show you guys a real live server with this stuff running. And then let's see, frequently asked questions. You can go to, it'll point to their GitHub with frequently asked questions, support. You can definitely go to support and chat with someone. They have a Discord server, so that's pretty cool. You can donate. And I always recommend people donate to projects, because some people use their own time, and as we know, time is money. So it's best to kind of donate to projects that you're actually using. You know what I'm saying? And it's worth it, in my opinion, because it helps the person actually keep working on a project. And there's a lot of projects out there that have been abandoned, you know what I'm saying, because people don't have the time, and people take their own personal time to work on these different projects. I always recommend donating if you can. If you can't, they don't require it. But this is a great project, so I always recommend that. You can check from updates here. You can restart the server. You can shut down the server. Also, one thing I forgot to do was show you guys their GitHub page. I already have it open, but if you click this link, it'll go to the GitHub page, where you'll have detailed instructions on how to install it. Just some more information, but you can go to the installation guide. And as you can see, it supports Windows, Linux, FreeBSD, FreeNAS, Mac OS, Docker, Synology, all that. And this will go through the basic installation on all those different operating systems. Like this is the Windows instructions, but since I'm a Linux guy, I try to focus on Linux. So here is the Linux install. And as you see, it's pretty quick, simple. I'll go down and install this for you guys now. So, all right, so for this demonstration, I already have a VM set up running Plex. And we can check that by going to the actual Plex server, which is, and actually we can check it under my Plex account. Go there. And actually it's running under 140, but anyway, that's the boss server. It's the boss server basically. And the way we can see what it is, let's go down to the remote access, and that'll show us what the IP address is, but that's the actual server that's running on this VM. So all right, so we know what the IP address is, and then also, in case you want to know, we can log into the system, because what I want to do is connect to via SSH. I already have SSH installed, so pretty much you can log in. It'll tell you what the IP address is. See right there, 192.168.10.1. So let's exit out of there, and I'm gonna minimize the VM and open up a terminal on my host system, and let's SSH into it. So SSH 192.168.10.140. Press enter. Type in my password. Good to go. So as you can see, we on that server. Good to go. So the first step is to make sure our system is up to date. So let's go sudo app updates, and I believe this system is good because it checks. As you can see, 0 packages. It's constantly checking the server sometimes, but it's good to run the update command. just to check against the server and make sure no changes have been made in the repositories and new updates have came out. So as you can see, all packages are up to date. All right, so what we want to do now is install the Git core application. So it's sudo apt install and git -core, and press enter on that. And I already have it on the system, so it's good to go. Let's see, selecting Git instead of Git core. Git is already at the newest version, so we're good to go. So let's clear that. And actually, let's make this thing a little bigger so you guys can see exactly what's going on. So I'm gonna zoom it in a little bit. There we go. All right, so the next thing we need to do is make sure Python is installed. We can go sudo apt install Python. And then also, along with Python, we want to install Python setup tools. I think tools. Let's tab it out, make sure, yeah. Tools, and then we want to get TZ data and press enter. And as you see, I already have it on there, so it's good to go. So we can clear that. Now let's get to installing. So first thing we want to do is cd to the opt directory. So this is the location where we're going to install Tautulli. So we basically type git clone, and I don't have it copied yet, but we will go to the GitHub page. Just click this button, click copy, minimize, paste it here, and press enter. And that'll clone the actual directory. And actually, might have to run this as sudo, which is fine. Sudo git clone, and it'll clone to that directory, which is fine. All right, cool. So now that's done, we have to run a couple commands that will set up a user and a group for Tautulli. So it's basically sudo add group Tautulli, and then you could do the and ampersand, and that will string commands together. So it'll do one, and then if that first command runs successfully, then it'll roll to the next one, and so on throughout the whole process. So we can go sudo add user, and I'm pretty sure this is going to fail for me, and the only reason because I've actually done this already, and instead of removing them, I'm just showing you the command, that way you can run it yourself. But no creates, because we don't want to create a home directory for, and sorry about that, it's no create home, and then space Tautulli, and then also we want to make sure it's in the group of, and sorry I can't spell, but in the group of Tautulli. And I'll press enter, but it's not gonna do anything because it's already created. So good to go there. Okay, so now that we added the group and added the user, the next thing is to cd into the Tautulli directory. And can't spell, but there we go. And then let's ls this, and you can see what's going on in here. And as you can see, this is what's actually ran to actually run Tautulli. So what I want to do is just run the command so you can see what it looks like, or not actually run it, but just start the script temporarily so we can see what it looks like. All right. And actually, I forgot I have to run this as sudo because it's in a retorted directory. So it's actually running now. So what I want to do is, so when you first run it, it will come up and show you the link. So I already know what the link is. I don't need to click on it, but it's basically the IP address. So 192.168.10.140, and then we want to go to port 8181 and press enter. And that'll take us to it, to Tautulli, and then this is the setup. It's basically going to connect to your Plex server account. And we can just hit sign in. It'll automatically gather the information from your Plex account. Then you select the server, which mine is the boss server right now. It's going to verify. Well, you got to hit verify and then hit next. Then ignore interval. Next. Then I'm going to just leave that default. And notifications and database import. Hit finish. And you can kind of see what's going on if you want to look at this, but it's you know, just checking, gathering the information from the server, and we hit close. That was just a little information on welcome to it, as well as donate. Well, anyway, now it's set up fully. So now that this is done, the next thing we have to do is set this up as a service, because right now it's running, but it's just running as a script. And if we shut down the server for whatever reason or restart the server, then this script won't just automatically start. So we have to create it as a service. So I'm gonna go down and close this site, and let's stop the script. And Control Z. Yeah, that's fine. Tautulli is shut down. That's fine. So if we ls the Tautulli directory, we will see a directory called init scripts, which is right here, as you can see. So let's cd into that, and I want to show you something. I'm gonna just do a ls instead of making it long. Here we go. And actually, let's minimize this in the background so you guys can fully see. All right, so this is what we need right here in order to, since we're using Ubuntu, this is the default script that we will use to create this as a service. So what we need to do is copy that to a specific directory, and that directory is the lib systemd system, and then we got to drop it in there. So let's go copy, and actually we have to do sudo copy the init.systemd file, and then we want to copy that to the lib systemd system, and then that directory, and then we want to rename the actual file. So Tautulli .service. And let's make sure I spelled it right. Yeah, Tautulli. Good to go. Press enter on that. Okay, now that we have it over there, one thing we need to do, let me just cd back a directory. Well, actually two directories. And then, because actually what I want to do is see the owner. And one thing we need to do, with that being said, was we have to change the owner of this Tautulli directory, because that service file is going to have it's going to be looking for the user in a group of the actual file to be the Tautulli user as well as group. So and I'll show you that. We'll open up the service file before I start it. So let's go sudo ch own, and then let's do the dash capital R And then we want to do that to the Tautulli. And actually, I forgot, we gotta specify the user. So Tautulli, which is that user and group that we used earlier, that we created earlier. So Tautulli, and then Tautulli, and then the directory, which is there, and there we go. So if we ls this directory again, we'll see that Tautulli is the owner, and the group has access to that as well. So now that that's done, and we have our service file installed, now we should reload the actual systemd config or whatever. So it's basically sudo system ctl, and then I forget it. Is it reload? I can't remember what it is. Daemon reload. Yeah, there we go. So daemon reload, and press enter. And basically what this command does is scan that system directory that we copied that service file to see if there's new services added there. And since we added that one, it should show up now. So we can go sudo system ctl enable Tautulli, and I'm gonna just tab it out so you can see that it's showing up now. See, Tautulli.service. So if we press enter on that, it will create this symbolic link. And also I want to go into that configuration file so you guys can see. So let's go sudo nano lib system, and then the Tautulli.service file. And I just want to look at it, and actually all the instructions are here. They're actually here. So that's all you have to do is follow those instructions in there. But what I wanted to do was go down and show you guys what I was talking about. See, this is the service. So the user and group has to be Tautulli. So that's the reason why I set that for you. And this is just some more information. If you want to figure out how this works, you can. So since I enabled it, I didn't start it. Didn't start the service. So what I want to do is start the service now. And so we can run start, and this will start the script. And as you can see, it didn't give us any output, so that means there's no errors. And so another way we could check, so we can go system ctl status, and actually I spelled that wrong, ctl status, and I can't type today, Tautulli.service. We want to look and see if it's active and running, and it looks like it is. So we can quit that, and then now let's open up our browser and go back to that IP address, and it should be working now. 192.168.10.140 crap 140 port 8181. Press enter. Should work. Yep. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. And of course, keep it techie.